Hello everyone and welcome to Sewing Saturdays. My name is Gina and today we're going to be making this eyeglass case. It's a small project. You should be able to sew these pretty fast. So if you do craft shows or sometimes church bazaars or you need something quickly to sew, even for a gift for your friends, this is definitely a really quick project. It has a little snap here. When you open it looks like that, so you can have your glasses in there. It can also fit sunglasses, of course, and I added a little pocket here on the side that you can keep the little piece of fabric to clean your glasses. So let's get started with how we create this project. So to make my shape, I started with a heart. So I made a heart. I drew a line here in the middle from the tip to the bottom, and from the bottom up I did 2 inches. I drew a line and then I cut it off, so end up with a shape like this. I will be providing this template on the description box so you can print it. I'm just showing you how I did it, so if you want to make it bigger then you can increase the size of the heart and or make it smaller, so at least you understand how it came together. Okay, so that's that. And then for the pocket, I also create this shape here. It's optional, the pocket. You don't even have to do a pocket, but if you want to add the pocket, you can definitely print this shape also. And on this pocket, you're going to need 2 pieces of fabric for the pocket, and this shape here we would be needing 2 main fabric, 2 linings, and 2 pieces of interfacing, okay, because we're going to interface the outside fabric. So I have my fabric here that I picked, and sometimes you guys ask me how much fabric do you need. These are very small pieces, so if you have scraps, anything that you have that's about 10 inches, 10 by 6. But again, just use whatever you have around. It's you can also cut a big, like a 1/4 of a yard strip, and with a 1/4 of a yard you should be able, of the 2 fabrics, you should be able to make 2 of these cases. Alright, so a 1/4 of a yard of each fabric would give you 2 of these cases. But if you have pieces, 10 by 6 pieces, that's what you would be needing. Okay, so 2 of main is a 6 by 10, and 2 of interfacing 6 by 10, and then you would need 2 small pieces for the pocket. Okay, so I went ahead and I already cut my pieces here. So I have my my main over here, and I went ahead and I quilted on this one. This one here I didn't quilt anything, I just sew it that way. But on this one I actually did some lines. You can see I quilted a little bit, and I also have here, and if you see, that's exactly that shape that I have here. Okay, so I already have my 2 linings and my 2 outside fabric. I interfaced it with Pellon, and the Pellon that I used was TP971F. It's a fusible Thermoland Plus. Okay, so I'll show you here so you see what it looks like. This is the paper that comes in with the instructions. Alright, so this is what I use. You don't have to use this one, you can use whatever you have sitting around. It has to be slightly thick because you want to protect your glasses. So I already cut my shape, so we're gonna start with the pocket. For the little pocket, so I had 2 pieces of fabrics. I put 2 right sides together. I went ahead and put it on top. I marked my opening. You're gonna have to leave an opening here to turn it inside out. You're gonna trace it around and you're gonna sew on that line. When sewing circles, your best way of sewing those circles or anything with curves is decrease your stitch length to about 1.8 or 2, because you get a better circle here. Because when the machine is sewing, it's picking up really small pieces, doesn't stretch, it stays more even, you'll have a nicer circle. So now you're gonna go ahead using pinking shears, or if you don't have pinking shears, you can use a regular scissors. You never want to trim where your opening is, and I always sew out like this, so when I turn this, I'll have a better fold. My fabric automatic will fold in. So in here on this little curve here, you're gonna have to trim, cut down into this, almost into the seam. Just make sure you don't cut your seam. And if you use regular scissors, you're gonna have to go around the curve and cut it around little bits like that, so you have a better turn. Okay, anywhere around the turn, you're gonna have to be cutting like that all the way around the curve. I use pinking shears, so I don't really have to, but if you don't have pinking shears, you definitely have to do that. So turn it to the right side. Okay, you're gonna take to the iron and press it. After you press it, you're gonna get one of your pieces of fabric, and about 1 inch from the bottom. Okay, about 1 inch from the bottom, and with this area here more or less even, you're gonna go ahead and sew this. So you're gonna be sewing all the way to about, let's see, just about when the middle here is. You see that? So I'm gonna put my ruler here and create a line from the middle here across, and I'm using a fabric pen because this iron's off with the iron. Always check when you're using these fabric pens, always check a little side of your fabric first. Make sure it's not going to damage your fabric, because there are certain pens that will damage the fabric. Okay, we'll leave a line after, so you have to be careful with that. Always test it first, then if you see it's okay, then you go ahead and use it. Draw that line. So now when we go to the machine sewing, we're going to start sewing here. We're going to go down, across, and up. Okay, just like that, and about 1 inch from the bottom. Actually, mine is about 3/4 of an inch. Okay, an inch probably would be too close to here, and we still have to sew this here. So do 3/4. All right. So you're gonna go ahead and sew that in place. So I sew my pocket down on, and now we need to sew these together. Okay. So again, I'm gonna go ahead and we need to draw a line where we need to stop sewing. So I'm gonna find the middle. Okay, that's my middle. I'm gonna draw a line to the middle here, so I know where my middle is, just slightly. And now I'm gonna put my line in the middle from the bottom up, so at least I know. I'm gonna try to even my ruler, as you see here, on the line down and in one line across, even across. So when I draw this line here, okay, I know it's straight. Okay, so, and we're gonna base about 1/2 inch from the top here, and we're gonna draw a little line there. You can do a cross, but you don't really need a cross. You just need to mark this end and this end, because this is where we're gonna stop. So now what you do, you put right sides and right sides together like this, and we're gonna start sewing here where the line, where we did this line. We're gonna go down, across, and up, and we're gonna do the same to our lining. Okay, so we're gonna put right sides together, and we're gonna do the same thing. Find the middle. In this case, I'm just gonna crease it, open it, so I know my middle is there, all the way up, to the tip, to the middle. Okay, so I have that there. So now I have to make sure it's exactly the same. So whatever I did here has to be done on this one, whatever size where I stopped. So I have here 3 and 3, 3.78, 3 inches and 3/4, almost 4 inches from the bottom of my line to the line that I did here. So I'm gonna do the same here, from the bottom to the top, and I'm gonna draw that line. You can always go here, put it on top, and look, you see them, they match right there. Okay, so if you don't want to even do by numbers measuring, you can definitely, after you do one, you put it on top and you just transfer that marking into the top. So we're gonna go ahead and sew these. The only thing here on the lining, we have to leave an opening here, I would say about 2 inches, so we can turn it inside out afterwards. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and sew this here, here to here, from here, here to here. The same thing with this one, from here all the way to here, and I'll show you next step. So I sewed the bag around like that and like that, and I have my opening here. So now we need to do these little corners. So you're gonna go here where you have that little corner here, and you're gonna go kind of, you know, just cut a little slit into, just like that, into that corner. Just be careful not to cut your seam. Okay, so just to cut it open like that, and you're gonna go to that tip also and do the same thing. All right, just because we're gonna need to match the seams, and like this will be easier. Okay, now do the same thing here. Probably here you can even see it better. You see where I sew here and here. And my seam allowance, just in case you're wondering, I use my needle on middle positions, about a 1/2 inch seam allowance that I'm using here. Okay, and there. Okay. Okay. So now we're gonna do, you remember our last project that I told you that what are you gonna do? You're gonna match. You're gonna open that up. You're gonna try to go here and open your seams. One to this side. Open it all the way up. So you're gonna go ahead and open it like that, and open also the bottom. Okay, so now what you're gonna do, you're gonna match this seam, so you can go and pin from one side to the other side, and make sure they're evenly together. Okay, and you're gonna go ahead like we did on the last project. You're gonna just trim the tip, just like that. We need a tiny bottom, and you see my seams are evenly together. Okay, you're gonna do the same thing here. Go here, see where you cut is the same. If one is slightly bigger, you can always trim a tiny little bit more. Right? Mine are even. Same to this one. So you're gonna go ahead and sew those corners. So I sew and I used a 1/4 inch seam allowance to sew those across, and they're already done. So you're gonna have a look, make sure they're even together going across like that. If you don't want your pocket to be down so much, you can definitely move it up a little bit. You can go more, I told you to go 3/4 inch. You can go about 1 inch up, maybe a little bit even more. Go closer to this part here if you don't want it to go so down here. Okay, so you end up with the bag like this. Okay, and we have one like that. Now we have to put it together. So turn this one to the right side. One of them has to be right side, one the wrong side. And what we're gonna do right sides together. Okay, and you're gonna bring that up So you're gonna make sure your seams are open over here like that, so it will be easier for you to sew. So open and open, and you're gonna put a pin there matching your seam with the inside, and the same here. I'm gonna bring that all the way up. Matching, open your seam and open your seam, and they should be right where you stop, just like that. Put another pin here where this is, same thing. Okay, and then you're gonna go ahead and sew this all the way around. So here you have to make sure that you come down to, you know, where both fabrics have the seam there. So you're gonna come down to there, and then as soon as you hit that seam, you're gonna turn and go the other direction. So you'll be sewing, you're gonna be sewing down like this all the way to here, to this part here where you already, where your seams are, and then you're gonna turn to this direction and keep going all the way around. All right, so I'm gonna go do that and show you when it's done. So I sew mine all the way around. Just make sure, check, make sure you know you don't have any openings here. That's everything got caught. Again, if you have pinking shears, you can trim your a little bit of your seam allowance. I'm gonna use mine. If you don't have it, just use regular scissors. You can cut it down a little bit. Okay, so if you don't have pinking shears, go ahead and cut a couple all the way down around those curves, and then you're gonna go here to the middle and do a little cut into close to the seam. Do the same thing here. So you'll have a nicer turn. Okay, so now you can go ahead and turn it inside out. So you're gonna go ahead and straighten everything. Press it. In here, if it's pulling a little bit, okay, as you see mine is pulling a little bit, you can go here, bring that little piece out, and it's like it's a curve, so you might have to just cut a little bit open that part there, so it can turn a little nicer. See, all fixed. Just like when we do with this middle here, sometimes we need to fix that part there. The other one seems okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and iron this, press it, and I'm gonna show you about putting the snaps. Some of you sometimes ask me. This is by Babyville, and I'm gonna show you how to do the snaps. But I'm gonna go ahead, just press it and do my top stitch, and then I'll show you to do the snaps. So I did my top stitch. I didn't sew my lining yet because I need to attach a snap, and the one that I'm going to attach here for this little pocket, I don't want it to be here, so when I put the gloss it doesn't get in contact with it, so I have to put it in between. So that's why I left the opening, so I can put it through their opening. So first I'm going to go here and get this little one with the, I don't have a pink one. I run out of pink, so I have to order some more. So just put it through the fabric like that. Get one of these, put it there. Then you got the little tool, the tool that we have here, and that goes to the bottom. And I believe this is size 20, the snaps that I'm using. Okay, and then you just press it. So I have one that's like that. Now I need a different one that will fit there. It's like a male female that will go there. But first I need to figure out what I wanted, so I'm gonna go here, get my marking pen, and see exactly there. So this is now where I'm gonna go through my lining. All right, and I'm gonna get this one and put it through there, and it has to come through the marking that I did. So I'm gonna find my marking. If you want, you can put it through here first, so you leave a little hole. It comes a tool that you can make the hole. This is thin fabric, that's why I didn't even grab it. But these tools come with a tool to make that little hole, the initial hole, so you can do it like that. And then you're gonna press it. Okay. So when you go snap these on, okay, they make the sound, you see? That means you put enough pressure and it's done properly. If it doesn't make this sound, it's because you didn't put enough pressure, so you need to go back and put more pressure, all right? So that one is done. All right, so this one I put little buttons here on the sides. You don't have to, you can leave it like this if you want, but you can definitely add little buttons. I hadn't decided if I will or not. I might put little buttons, I might not. Okay, make sure now sew your lining and your bag is done. So I hope you enjoyed this project. If you want to send me pictures, you can go to my Facebook page and put pictures there. And we'll see you next Saturday. Happy sewing, everyone.